So I'm very excited to introduce you to the next speaker for today, who's going to be talking about the future of NFTs, and he is Adrian Posteuca from Concept Factory, and I would like to make sure that he's in the room right now.
Hello. GM, my friends, and special thanks to my friend here is my robot. I try to work with him every day. I think I need a clicker. I'm trying to talk about the future of NFTs. And let's see as a foresight, as the future of NFTs in a more, I don't know, philosophical way. I think it's very important to understand that the future has to be open source, like this robot. This robot is open source, and you can program it and do everything with him. Now he's trying to read Sapiens. I don't know if he understands a little bit about Sapiens. I'm trying to find out some direction for the future of NFTs, and I'm trying to work with you to understand them. I think the most important NFT that we have is your DNA, because it's unique, you have it on your own, and it's something very important for the future, because we are talking about computers right now, and it's silicon-based computers. But how about biological computers? How about AIs that can recreate based on your DNA? And that's the most important valuable NFT that you can have. But let's try a different thing. My grandma has 95 years old, and I try to take his data and make them famous. I just scan her with an app right now to make a 3D grandma from my son. I also recorded her voice. I tried to record her recipes for jam and all these kind of goodies that she made. And I think in the future it's very important to have all this data. Your digital trace is very important. Now I'm working with a company that tries to somehow make value on this data. And it's important in the future to own your data. It's important to own your digital robot, your digital self, in order to have the ownership of your speech, ownership of your image, ownership of your action. And I think the digital trace right now that we are putting on the internet is very important. And I think that's a good NFT that you might have. But how about the future of now we have large language models, but how about large action models? All the Internet of Things is learning about the way we act. It's the way we behave. But how about training an AI on the way we behave, on the way we look at movies, on what movies do we look, what movie do we watch, what coffee do we want to buy, and our daily action. I think the next step, it will be the large action models. And we're gonna meet on this stage maybe next year, maybe 2 years after, and we're gonna see a huge expand of large language models. And I think it's large action models. And I think the way you act is very important. I don't know right now. I'm not trying to talk about technology. I'm trying to talk about ideas. And I think it's important. I don't know how we can somehow make it safe to take our action as an NFT, but someone here, maybe it's a programmer or someone who can code and have an idea about how we can certify our action. And I think it's very important because everybody tries to be as good as they can, but your mistakes are gold. Because computers They don't do mistakes because we program them to not to do them. But your mistakes are NFTs. Your mistakes are things that you can somehow learn from them and do better with them. How about an NFT based on your experience? In the future, maybe sometimes when you go to get hired, they're going to ask you, have you seen Louvre? Have you seen the, I don't know, the National Portrait Museum? And you say, yes. Show me a proof of presence. Show me something that can say that you are there and you know what is Mona Lisa. You not have seen it on the internet, but you actually been there. Show me that you've been to Venice. You're a designer. You have to, I don't know, imagine dresses, but you never see Rome, Paris, or something like that. So a proof of your experience is something very important in the future. And what about a proof of your education? Because right now, I think education, it's a little bit old in a way. Because we go to school, and every time you go to school, you have to learn something. And by learning something, something new already happened. And you have to prove yourself that you know the latest AI, that you are the, I don't know, the good as you are in contact with people on Metaverse, and you are in contact with teachers from United States or Canada. And this connection has to be proved. And how you can prove it? By having an NFT of your connection. And I think that's very important in the future, somehow in the same way that you can connect your career. How about the proof of work, that you work somewhere, that you did that actions? In the same way, the computer would like to understand about the future of your action, about the future of your learnings, about the future of your day-to-day things. And I think a computer, your own AI, will learn about it. And he will understand the way you think, the way you act when you're reading a book, the way you act when you, I don't know, looking at the of a portrait of a painting or something. And it's very important because this will take your day-to-day life, your career, and make it as an NFT. But sometimes it's bad because as NFT, it has to be very, very secure. And you can, someone may hack it, or someone will make it to not be useful for you. And I think your future can be an NFT because it's your own path, it's your own career, it's your own path. I think it's very important, your own path. And it's, even if you take two brothers and put them on the same career path, they'll end up doing different things. Because what we have here, it's an AI. It's not an AI, it's the real AI. And the way we look to our world, the way we talk with the things that surround us, the way we behave with the computers, it's unique because it's based on our own NFT. And I'm talking about health. It's important that maybe in the future we're going to have a computer that say, oh, you drank too much last night. How about taking some magnesium? You say, oh my God, yes, thank you so much. Oh, today you have to eat more salads because your stomach is not good enough, and you can, and it's amazing. But the other side of the coin can be, how about your insurance saying, look, Adrian, you have too many parties last week. If you want to get some kind of some money from us, the interest is going to be higher. Because you party a lot and maybe sometimes you get drunk and maybe a car can hit you or something like that. So it's always a two-side history of this open community, open community, open network. But I read an interesting story about some influencers who NFTs their life, NFT their day-to-day life, and saying, look, you want to own my day, buy this NFT, and I can do whatever you want this day. So yes, it's an interesting way of making money, selling your day, or selling part of the day, or selling part of your show. Or imagine that I'm having an interview with Obama, and I can somehow make it short NFTs, and I sell it to you, the first part, to you, the second part. And the second part, Obama says, you know, I hate Biden. Frankly, I hate Biden, or I hate Donald Trump. And that part of the speech, he owns it. So that part of my interview is very important for the future of humanity, or for the news. In the same way, we can NFTize the news. So you can trace them, you can give them value, or you can give them importance. And one more important thing, with tracing the news, we can get rid of, in a way, of deep fake, of fake news, of misinformation. And very, very important thing, how about NFT your brain, your way of thinking? In the future, I think the answers are commodities. Because right now you can find an answer for everything. If you want to know who invented the engine, you can go on any AI and try who invented the engine. Who won the Roman, or who was the Roman emperor in 2000, I don't know, in 2000 before Christ. But the most important thing is the question. What question would you ask the AI to get the real answer? And the way you ask it is very important. Someone made a very interesting exercise or experiment and asked ChatGPT, I think it was ChatGPT 3, who is Drake? And maybe half of the audience will say, oh, it's a singer, come on. But GTP answered, mathematician. I said, fuck. Yes. Sir William Drake, it was a mathematician, a very important mathematician in the field of mathematics. Is more important than the singer today. What is important is how to ask the question. And I think that is very important for the future, and also the creativity. Because right now we use AIs for, imagine things. But the way you talk to the AI, it will be very, very important. And that's up here. I think in the future, when you have all the AIs around you, you have to be an NFT. You have to be your own way of thinking, because what I said, we have all the answers as our fingertip. The answers are commodity, but the questions, your ideas, that will be an NFT. Your presence today matters because it's important for your education, for meetings, for everything that's around us. Because being up to date is very important in your education. I was trying to talk to someone at the university saying, look, about also what Cosmin said about Metaverse and what's important about Metaverse, and we have to make a masterclass of Metaverse. And I said, we have to make it yesterday. Because until you set up all the documentation, the Metaverse or the internet changes. What we talk today about AI, tomorrow may be obsolete. What we need to learn is the way we think. How to think what is important, what is a transformer in AI, what are the building blocks for the future. And I think the most important thing is the critical way of thinking. To think and to ask questions. And that's why a question is more important than an answer. I have 2 minutes more for questions. Thank you so much for your time. If you scan here, you can have a proof of presence, because I told you that your presence matters today. So scan it, you have a proof of presence for the first NFT Romania, NFT Bucharest, and you can claim it. So if you have any questions, I challenge myself to answer some questions from the audience. I have 2 minutes left. So if you have any questions. Or not, follow me on all the social media platforms. My digital trace matters, so I think it will be very interesting to find out more about you, and we can discuss more. Thank you so much for today.